And thank you for coming. I'd like to introduce Assistant Commissioner Brian Brennan and Chief of Police Jean-Michel Blais to answer your questions.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Myself and Chief Blais be more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
Que ce soit en anglais ou en français aussi.
Maybe, if you would, gentlemen, would one of you be kind enough to give us, basically reiterate what the statement here says, who you laid charges against, who they are, what the charges are?
Absolutely. So we've laid charges against two individuals, a male and a female. The female's name is Lindsay Kathana Suvanarath from Illinois, and the gentleman, Randall Stephen Shepard, is from Halifax here, and both these individuals have been charged with conspiracy to commit murder.
Is Randall Shepard the 20-year-old?
He's the 20-year-old, yes. Sorry.
And are you able to confirm that the target was a shopping mall?
Yes, we can confirm that indeed it was a shopping mall. It was Halifax Shopping Centre.
Can you confirm the name of the individual who passed away at the Kimberley residence?
Well, that investigation is being looked into by the Nova Scotia Serious Incident Response Team, and so any questions in regards to details about that individual should be directed to them.
And the situation with the young man from Cold Harbor, can you reiterate that, please?
The 17-year-old? Yes, he was a person of interest during the investigation, and through the investigation over the last 24 to 36 hours, it was determined that currently there's not enough information or evidence to charge him in that matter, so he has been released from custody.
Was he able to offer anything of use to your investigation?
Well, since the investigation is still ongoing, we're not prepared to discuss any information he may or may not have provided to investigators at this time.
Can you give us the details on the firearms? How many did you find and do you have in custody, and what type of firearms were they?
I can tell you that there was 3 long-barreled rifles seized during the investigation, and all 3 rifles were seized from the residence in Timberley, where the 19-year-old man was found deceased. In terms of the specifics around the weapons themselves, again, part of the investigation, and we're not prepared to give those specific details.
Were they automatic or semi-automatic?
Can you talk about how the 4 were related, the 4 individuals were related?
Yeah, they were related through friendship. Again, given that the charge is conspiracy to commit murder, the details of that relationship forms part of the charge and part of the information that will be going to court. So we're not going to get into the specifics of that here today, but in due course, as the court process rolls out, those details become.
They were friends online?
All we're prepared to say is they were in a relationship, a friendship relationship.
Were any of these people known to police prior to this?
I don't have any information, Chief.
One of the individuals was in Denoma. Once again, this is still subject to further investigation.
Did you have any advance warning or knowledge of that something might be taking place
No.
prior to the Crime Stoppers tip?
No, this investigation started immediately after that single Crime Stoppers tip came in, and through the investigational work of the RCMP and Halifax Regional Police members in the integrated unit, tracking down leads and putting pieces together, that's what formed the basis of the investigation. But it all started from a single Crime Stoppers tip.
And that single Crime Stoppers tip, can you say where that originated from? Did that come from the United States or was it from Canada?
I can tell you it came from Canada. Specific beyond that, I'm not prepared to give specifics.
So came into Halifax, the Crime Stoppers tip came into the Halifax police?
No, again, it all forms part of the investigation. We can tell you that it originated in Canada, but the specifics around that, again, details of the investigation that we're not prepared to divulge at this time.
I think it may be worthwhile mentioning as well when it comes down to Crime Stopper tips, the essence is anonymity. Right? And as police services, we do not have that capacity to go back in time to be able to determine exactly from whom the tip has come by. That's the whole nature behind Crime Stoppers tips.
And there's speculation that one of the parties involved in this actually did contact Crime Stoppers.
You're asking if we have that speculation?
No, there has been that speculation. I'm just wondering if you can say
Well, you can appreciate that in any investigation such as this, there's always going to be speculation going around. So that's something that we're not aware of, and at this point, we're interested in the facts and obtaining the necessary evidence. Consequently, we do expect that this is going to take several days, if not weeks, before we get a very fulsome overview of exactly what the plans were, how they're going to carry it out, as well as any other individuals or factors that are involved.
Are you satisfied that these four were not in any sort of terrorist cell or group or anything like that?
Yes, this group of individuals, we would not define as a terrorist group. They were four individuals that had a friendship. They're not based, their friendship is not based on culture or ideology. They were four individuals who formed a friendship and decided to plan and commit a heinous crime. And through the, like I said, the Crime Stoppers tip, we were able to prevent that from happening.
Do you know why they wanted to commit this crime? If it's not based on cultural or ideology, what?
No, we don't know at this point, and that's what the investigation will help us to determine.
What have you learned so far about their motivation? If it's not cultural ideology, what have you learned through your investigation about what motivated them?
Well, again, that forms part of the conspiracy charge that will be before the courts. So we're not prepared to release those types of details at this time.
Are you investigating whether this group were supporters of Columbine in any way?
Well, as in any case, if I may, in any case, when we're looking at a potential mass shooting, we're going to be looking at all potential areas. The important thing is to realize that this has nothing to do with ethnic, even political considerations, at least at this point.
How did they get a hold of these firearms, and were the firearms automatic, semi-automatic, or what?
Well, again, to repeat, we are not going to be providing any details on the specifics of the firearms. Again, this is all forms part of the conspiracy charge before the courts, but we are prepared, and to repeat myself, to confirm that 3 long-barreled rifles were seized at the house in Timberley where the deceased individual is located.
Are they cooperating? Are they providing information as to what was being plotted?
Again, part of the investigation, part of the investigational strategies, and we're not prepared to be speaking specifically to the investigation itself.
The Cole Harbour person is still being investigated. Can you say whether you expect to eventually lay charges against that individual?
Well, at this point, as the Assistant Commissioner stated, we do not have enough evidence to support laying our charges. Now, if we had been in a situation where we had enough evidence, the charge would have been laid at this point. Those charges have been laid. However, one thing's for certain, the investigative team is still pursuing all leads into this matter.
What happens with this woman? Is she going to be extradited to the U.S., or does she remain in holding here?
Well, it's still very early to determine what's going to happen, as you well know, and as indicated in the statement that was given out to you earlier on, the 2 individuals in question will be appearing in court as of 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
What makes you think that this would have led to mass casualties?
Well, that was based on the information that was uncovered during the investigation, and again, without having that information, we would not be prepared to lay the charge that we have. But again, the specific details around that, we're not prepared to discuss. But those details will be coming out as the matter proceeds through the courts and becomes public knowledge in that way. But you have to understand, still early hours of this investigation, lots of work left to be done, lots of people to speak to, and so we're providing you with as much information as we can. But one of the main messages we're interested in getting out today is that this group has been stopped, and Halifax is a safe place for citizens to continue with their day-to-day lives.
Will these individuals be in court on Tuesday?
As indicated, yes, that's the expectation that they will be there.
In terms of the arrest at the airport, was a woman from Illinois, did she just get off a plane from the U.S. when you arrested her?
Yes, she was entering the country.
2 more questions.
Gentlemen, can I ask a question about the 19-year-old, and exposing my ignorance in investigative techniques, but does the deceased 19-year-old still form part of the investigation?
Will not form part of the investigation in the sense that he's deceased. His actions and any involvement prior to that definitely forms part of the overall investigation.
It's my understanding.
Non, non, c'est ça en français, oui. Oui, effectivement. Alors, il y avait 3 armes à feu qui ont été trouvées. Alors, les armes à feu à Barrie, alors, qui ont été trouvés alors, à une résidence à Timberley. Alors, et les 3 individus alors, qui forment l'intérêt ou qui font partie de l'enquête, alors, comme indiqué, alors, c'est le défunt alors, à Timberley, alors, ainsi qu'un homme de 20 ans d'Halifax et une femme d'origine américaine qui a 23 ans.
Est-ce que l'homme d'Halifax était connu au service?
Lequel, celui qui a 20 ans, ou, moi, je ne pense pas pour l'instant s'il était connu ou s'il avait des antécédents judiciaires, j'ignore.
Was the
Je vous en prie.
19-year-old known to police? The deceased 19-year-old, was he known to police? You said one of them.
One of them, that was not one of them.
Sorry.
That was not one of them.
So it was the Cole Harbour team?
At this point, yes.
So the 17-year-old Cole Harbour team was the one that was known to police?
Yes.
And can you say in what context?
No, not at this point. It's still under investigation.
Thank you very much for your questions, and that
we can do.
concludes our session for today.
Thank you.